All right, have I got something interesting for you? But first, please like the video and subscribe. If you subscribe, you'll get more awesome videos like this one. Okay, let's go. So, played d4. My opponent came back with c5, the Benoni. I'm like, I don't want to play Benoni, so I don't. I play e4. I say Sicilian defense. Now, if this guy isn't a Sicilian defense player, he's got problems. He probably is, but hey, you never know. Because one of the things you can do is if you want to play the Benoni and the Sicilian defense, the universal defense of 1 c5 for black is, very good, because the Benoni and Sicilian are very similar. They have a lot of thematic, similar moves that you make. So a good system, if you want to have a universal defense, 1 c5 is a good selection. There are good players who've done it. So he takes. Okay, I'm going to play knight f3 because I'm going to try and transpose this to a Smith-Morra. Chess vibes, good dude. Very good player. He had a really good video today. So I'm going to try and transpose and see if I can catch this guy off guard. You'll never know if you do catch him off guard, but if you have the understanding to do so, like I'm going to do in this video, it's a distinct possibility that I caught him unprepared. Don't know if I did or not. You'll never know unless you ask him. So normally this goes e4, c5, d4, c takes d, c3, d captures c3, knight takes c3. That's the normal for this opening. And then he'd play knight c6, which is where he is. And then I'd play knight f3, and then he'd play his next move, which is d6. So this transposes to a book version of this opening. I play the proper response, bishop c4. Now, he can do several things. One of the things that black is looking to do in this version is to play, at the right time, bishop to g4. He can't play bishop g4 right now. There's a tactic that gets him. See if you can figure out what happens if black plays bishop to g4. Pause the video and we'll be right back. Okay, we're back. So, if he plays bishop to g4, we get to hit him with the Stomperuski bishop f7 check. King takes, knight g5 check, and queen's going to eat this bishop back. His position, he can't castle. His position is torn up. He's given back his gambit pawn. So bishop g4 is a mistake. Full question mark, no question. Ironic. Anyway, he plays knight f6, which is a move that if he played this, his next move could be bishop g4 because that combo doesn't work. Bishop takes f7 doesn't work because the knight guards the bishop. So he's preparing bishop to g4. However, this is a small mistake in this opening. Now, if you don't study this opening, you probably won't figure out what to do. But you can take a shot. If you need to pause the video, we'll be right back again. Okay, we're back. The correct move here, e5. So it's getting very ugly. His choices are not spectacular. But he has knight to g8 or knight to d7. Knight to d7. Whoops. My bad. Knight to d7, we do have f6. A particularly nasty looking move because it starts, unleashing all kinds of, really messing around with his position. Because he can't sit there and let me take it. He has to take it. And then, we have different combinations. Queen to e2. Knight to g5 is a vicious one. We can take it right directly if we want to. Bishop takes e6. It's, tomato, tomato. Do you want to take it back immediately? Do you want to try and wedge the knight in there? There's multiple types of options here. So anyway, he did not play that. He followed a bad move, inferior move, with a bad move. Knight takes e5. Now, see if you can figure out what white should do here. And pause the video, and we'll be right back. Okay, we're back. So, if you pause the video, and now you're back, did you see, this is the move. Knight takes e5. Crunch. He's now lost a piece. To be honest, his best move is e6 at this point. Most people who make this mistake of knight takes e5 don't recognize the best thing they can do is play e6. He did not recognize, well, he probably didn't recognize it. He followed an inferior move, knight f6, with a bad move, knight takes e5, and followed that with an even worse move. He had 3 bad moves in a row, each worse than the one previous. As hard as that is to believe, he played it. Now, you're playing white. If you would like to pause the video to figure out what you should do, we'll be right back. And for the final time, we're back. I'm sure you guys saw the hammer. Super crunch. I laid this move on him super fast. He thought about it for, I don't know if it was 5 or 10 seconds, and then decided, yeah, I resign. He's gone. There's nothing you can do. Like I said, he just got caught off guard, I guess. Played a decent-looking move of knight f6, another decent-looking move that's bad, knight takes e5. And I say decent-looking because these are examples. I have a video on this. You might want to look at it. It's called Chess Eyes versus the Chess Brain. The chess eye would have said, I play knight f6. You can play e5. I'll just take it. Okay, I played e5, and he just took it. This doesn't look terrible. But your brain looks at it, you're like, knight takes knight, pawn takes knight, bishop takes f7, oh my god, we're dead. So, after knight takes knight, if he would have thought about it, his brain would have said, you must play e6. He didn't use his brain, he used his chess eyes and said, I'm just going to take the knight back. And then, crunch. So, this is an example of how opening preparation, and I mean thorough opening preparation, pays off a dividend very rarely, but it happens once out of every, 100 games or whatever it is, that this guy stumbled into a trap that hopefully was precipitated by me transposing the opening on him and catching him potentially off guard. Like I said, we'll never know, but it happens. It probably happened here if you look at it, but it may or may not be the case. It doesn't matter. But the transposition is such. This is one of the transpositions that there's nothing wrong. I'm not gambling and hoping for a move or whatever. The transposition, those are all correct moves. There's other openings where you can have this possibility. Queen's Gambit decline, for example. Moves can be transposed with no difference really. It's the only difference that occurs is that visually it catches people off guard. But the moves you're playing are all good moves. They're the proper moves, but in the non-standard sequence. Okay, let me show you, for example. This is the standard sequence. It's not going to let you play the standard sequence. It's okay. I can do it now. The standard sequence would be e4, c5, d4, pawn takes, c3, pawn takes, knight here, knight c6, knight f3, d6, bishop c4. There's nothing, the order that I played and the order that I play here now, nothing changed of any real value. I couldn't do anything more to him specifically. He did not have a secret move that would have crushed me, what have you. There was no secret crushing moves for either side. There's just one, this is one of two ways to reach this position, okay? The only advantage of the way I took is that it can catch them off guard. If he's a Benoni guy, he's thinking Benoni the whole time. He's thinking Benoni, okay? And then I lay this Smith-Morra gambit on him. And if he's not a Sicilian guy, and if specifically if he's not a Smith-Morra accepted guy, he's in trouble. He got in trouble. Maybe he was one, maybe he wasn't, who knows. But just another option. So this is one of the payoffs when you really study your chess opening, whatever you're using. Okay? So, hopefully you guys like this video. It was pretty good, I have to say myself. So, please like, please subscribe. Tell your friends, but don't tell your enemies, because your enemies will use this kind of stuff against you, and then it'll hurt you. So, hope you enjoyed it. You guys know what to do. I'll talk to you later.